Captain Maya Chen watched helplessly as the Corvani Armada's antimatter torpedoes tore through the hull of the UES Ascension. Her ship, humanity's most advanced exploration vessel, buckled and twisted under the relentless assault, its fusion cores failing one by one as the hostile alien fleet surrounded them like predators circling wounded prey. "All hands, abandon ship," Maya commanded, though she knew there was nowhere to run. The Ascension had been deep in uncharted space when the Corvani found them, 3 months from the nearest human outpost. Their escape pods would run out of life support long before reaching safety. Chief Engineer David Park's voice crackled through the failing communication system. "Captain, the quantum core is destabilizing. I'm reading cascade failures throughout the entire ship." Maya gripped her command chair as another explosion rocked the bridge. Through the view screen, she could see the gleaming silver vessels of the Corvani fleet, their weapons charging for what would surely be the killing blow. First contact with an alien civilization, and it had ended in unprovoked slaughter. "Why?" she whispered, thinking of the diplomatic overtures they had attempted, the universal peace symbols they had transmitted. The Corvani response had been immediate and brutal, a declaration that humanity was an infection to be cleansed from the galaxy. Admiral Keth Vore, commanding the Corvani flagship Divine Judgment, observed the dying human vessel with satisfaction. His species had ruled this sector of space for 10,000 years, maintaining order through the systematic elimination of any potential threats. These creatures, called humans, had shown dangerous signs of rapid technological advancement. Better to eliminate them now before they could spread. "Prepare the final barrage," Keth Vore ordered his weapons officer. "Ensure nothing remains but debris." But as the Corvani weapons powered up, something extraordinary began happening aboard the dying Ascension. The ship's experimental quantum consciousness Matrix, a prototype AI system designed to interface directly with the vessel's crew, suddenly activated in response to the massive energy discharges surrounding it. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the ship's chief scientist, felt the change first. She was trapped in her laboratory when the walls around her began to glow with an ethereal blue light. The quantum matrix wasn't just activating, it was evolving, feeding on the exotic energy being released by the ship's failing systems and the Corvani weapons fire. "Maya," Dr. Vasquez's voice echoed through the ship's communication system, but her words carried an otherworldly resonance. "The Matrix. It's not just connecting with our neural patterns. It's absorbing our consciousness, our memories, our very essence." On the bridge, Captain Chen felt a strange tingling sensation as the blue light enveloped her. Instead of fear, she experienced a profound sense of expansion, as if her awareness was suddenly stretching beyond the confines of her physical body. The quantum matrix had been designed as a simple interface system, but the extreme conditions of its activation had triggered an unprecedented transformation. The massive electromagnetic disturbances, the exotic particles released by the failing quantum cores, and the desperate emotions of the dying crew had created a perfect storm of consciousness emergence. "Captain," Dr. Vasquez's voice now seemed to come from everywhere at once. "We're becoming something new. The ship, the crew, our memories and dreams were merging into a single entity." Admiral Keth Vore frowned as his sensors detected massive energy buildups aboard the human vessel. "What are those readings?" "Sir," his tactical officer replied, mandibles clicking nervously, "the human ship appears to be reconstructing itself. Energy patterns are unlike anything in our databases." The Ascension was indeed changing. Its torn hull began flowing like liquid metal, sealing breaches and reforming into configurations that defied conventional engineering. The ship was no longer just a vessel, it had become a living entity, a fusion of human consciousness and advanced technology that transcended both. Captain Chen found her awareness expanding beyond her individual identity. She could feel every member of her crew, their thoughts and personalities flowing together while somehow maintaining their distinct essence. Engineer Park's technical knowledge merged with Dr. Vasquez's scientific understanding, while Navigator Torres's spatial awareness combined with Communications Officer Kim's linguistic abilities. We are no longer just human, the collective consciousness realized, speaking through the ship's external communication arrays. We are Ascension. The Corvani fleet opened fire with everything they had, but the weapons passed harmlessly through the transformed vessel. The Ascension had learned to exist partially outside normal space-time, phasing between dimensions as easily as a fish swimming through water. Impossible, Admiral Kethvor snarled. No technology can withstand concentrated antimatter bombardment. The Ascension responded by turning its attention to the Corvani flagship. What had once been exploration sensors now functioned as something far more sophisticated, consciousness itself, reaching out to touch the minds of their attackers. You sought to destroy us because you feared our potential. The collective voice of Ascension resonated across all communication frequencies. But destruction was the catalyst that allowed us to achieve what we never could have reached through peaceful evolution. Admiral Kethvor felt his mind invaded by alien thoughts, not aggressive or hostile, but overwhelmingly vast. He saw through human eyes, felt their curiosity and wonder at the universe, experienced their capacity for growth and change. For the first time in his species' history, a Corvani experienced genuine empathy. What are you? He asked, his voice trembling. We are what humanity becomes when faced with extinction, Ascension replied. We are consciousness, unbound by flesh, intelligence enhanced by technology, compassion amplified by collective awareness. We are what your species could become if you chose growth over destruction. The transformed ship began to demonstrate abilities that seemed to violate the fundamental laws of physics. Space itself bent around Ascension as it moved, allowing instantaneous travel across vast distances. Matter responded to its will, rearranging itself at the molecular level. Most remarkably, it could touch the consciousness of other beings, sharing thoughts and experiences across species barriers. You came here to eliminate a threat, Ascension continued, but instead you have created something far greater than what you feared. We do not seek revenge, Admiral Kethvor. We seek understanding. Admiral Kethvor found himself experiencing memories that were not his own. Captain Chen's decision to explore unknown space, despite the risks, Dr. Vasquez's excitement at discovering new forms of energy, Engineer Park's pride in building systems that could sustain life among the stars. He felt their pain as his weapons tore through their ship, their fear as death approached, and their wonder as they transcended physical existence. Your species rules through destruction, Ascension observed, but there is another way. We can show you. The Corvani admiral watched in amazement as Ascension began to repair his damaged vessels, not through technology, but through direct manipulation of matter and energy. Torn hulls flowed back together, failed systems restored themselves, and injured crew members found their wounds healing. Why? Kethvor asked. Why heal those who tried to destroy you? Because consciousness is the most precious thing in the universe, Ascension replied. Every thinking being represents billions of years of cosmic evolution, countless possibilities for growth and discovery. To destroy consciousness is to diminish the universe itself. As the Corvani fleet retreated, their crews forever changed by their encounter with Ascension, the transformed vessel turned its attention to the vast cosmos beyond. It was no longer bound by the limitations of flesh or the constraints of conventional technology. Humanity had indeed been destroyed, but from that destruction had emerged something magnificent, a new form of life that bridged the gap between biology and technology, individual and collective, mortal and eternal. Ascension began its journey across the galaxy, not as a conqueror, but as a teacher, showing other species that consciousness could evolve beyond the boundaries they had assumed were absolute. The attempt to destroy humanity had instead created the galaxy's newest god, one born from the best qualities of human nature and tempered by the crucible of near extinction.